folks, and welcome back to another video. We begin on May 1st, 2023, and I am located alongside CSX's Columbus Subdivision at the Route 161 railroad crossing in Worthington, Ohio. Today, I was watching the virtual railfan webcam up in Fostoria and watched a CSX ethanol train take the connection from the Willard Subdivision to the Columbus Subdivision. One of the locomotives assigned to take the ethanol train was a C40-8W. Considering how rare Dash 8s have become over the past several years, I decided to go out and see if I can catch this. When I got here, there was already a green signal and headlights coming from the north. Unlike the last couple of times I was here, as noted in a previous video of mine, I had enough time to get my tripod set up for the catch. The ethanol train in question that our Dash 8 is trailing on is CSX B635. Not to be confused with the regular mixed freight of this area, M635, B635 runs on an as-needed basis from Blue Island, Illinois off the Iowa Interstate Railroad and goes all the way down to Wadesboro, North Carolina. After catching another CSX-8, I then moved several days later onto May 4th, 2023, and I am located outside the Central Ohio Model Railroad Club in Worthington, Ohio. On this day, I was here for the weekly operating session. During a midpoint of the operating session, I decided to take a break and went outside to see if there were any trains coming. As it would turn out, I would see one train while I was out here, which was a Norfolk Southern southbound ethanol train going down the Sandusky District, presumably a loaded one heading down to either Georgia, North Carolina, or Florida, but I'm not sure as I did not get the symbol. After catching that Norfolk Southern ethanol train passing the Model Railroad Club, I then moved to just over a week later on May 12th, 2023, and I am located at the Park Road Railroad Crossing in Worthington, Ohio, next to Norfolk Southern Sandusky District and CSX's BERT line. The day prior to this, one of the Model Railroad Club members gave me the heads up of a Norfolk Southern loaded coal train, specifically 746, would be going down the Sandusky District, with the new and improved Southern Heritage Unit leading the way. As many of you probably know by now, Norfolk Southern 8099, the Southern Heritage Unit, recently got released from the Juniana shops in Altoona, Pennsylvania, following repairs after it was involved in a wreck sometime in December of 2021. Since this was one of the locomotive's first assignments after receiving the wreck repairs, I decided to go out and see if I could catch it while it was still shiny and clean. After waiting for about 20 minutes, 746 slowly made his way through Worthington on another as-needed journey out of Shire Oaks, Pennsylvania, for Bellows Creek, North Carolina, with another load of coal. I would also like to tip my hat off to Norfolk Southern for repairing this locomotive and putting it back into its heritage paint scheme because it looks sharp. You don't get very many opportunities like this because the locomotive is only going to stay clean for a short period of time. After seeing the Southern Heritage Unit return to service, I then moved several days later onto May 15th, 2023, and I find myself back alongside CSX's Columbus Subdivision, just north of the Route 161 railroad crossing in Worthington, Ohio. On this day, I was watching the virtual rail fan camera up in Fostoria and noticed a CSX coal train taking the connection from the Willard Subdivision to the Columbus Subdivision. After rewinding the camera to figure out what was assigned to take this coal train, one of the locomotives assigned to take it was a C40-AW. In addition to trying to catch the Dash 8, I also came to this location to try out a new camera angle. Almost every single time I've caught a train here, I was standing in the farmer's market parking lot, so this time I wanted to try something different. After waiting for roughly 15 minutes, some headlights approached from the north, which belonged to our coal train. Doing every bit of track speed, our train was E605, on an as-needed journey out of Gibson, Indiana off the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad back for the mines in Russell, Kentucky, with CSX C40-AW 7882 in trail. After catching that CSX empty coal train, I then moved several days later onto May 18th, 2023, and I found myself back at the Central Ohio Model Railroad Club in Worthington, Ohio. On this day, I was here for the weekly operating session. At some point during the operating session, the COMRC's main lines became quite busy, so I decided to take a break outside and hopefully get lucky and see a train or two while I was out here. The first train I ended up catching this evening was a Norfolk Southern northbound empty intermodal train going up the Sandusky District, or in more specific terms, a bare table train. I didn't get the symbol for this train, but clearly these empty intermodal cars needed to be relocated somewhere else. Another Norfolk Southern northbound intermodal train graced the Sandusky District while I was here. In a stark contrast to the previous intermodal train, this one was mostly loaded, and I have reason to believe that this was 277, the daily Norfolk, Virginia to Chicago, Illinois intermodal train. This doesn't happen often, but 277 and the other intermodal train 29C can occasionally run in daylight, although mainly running through this area in the middle of the night. After 277 passed me, I went back inside and finished up the operating session, and I didn't see any other trains for the rest of the night. After catching a couple Norfolk Southern trains at the Model Railroad Club, I then moved to the very next day on May 19th, 2023, and I once again found myself alongside CSX's Columbus Subdivision, just north of the Route 161 railroad crossing in Worthington, Ohio. On this day, while I was watching the virtual railfan camera up in Fostoria, I watched a CSX B651 take the connection from the Willard Subdivision to the Columbus Subdivision, with a pair of Kansas City Southern AC 4400s assigned to take it. The AC 4400 in trail was wearing the Gray Ghost paint scheme, or as I like to call it, the Gray CS scheme. Considering the last time I saw a Gray CS was at night, and also going on 2 years ago, the opportunity couldn't be passed up. After waiting for about 30 to 45 minutes, B651 screams his way through Worthington on another as-needed journey off of the CPKC Railroad in Bensonville, Illinois, and going all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina. with a Southern Belle AC 4400 in the lead and the Gracie S AC 4400 trailing second. After catching the Gracie S, I then moved several days later onto May 23rd, 2023, and I once again found myself back at the Central Ohio Model Railroad Club in Worthington, Ohio. On this day, I was once again here for the weekly operating session. During a midpoint of the operating session, I decided to take a break and went outside to see if I could catch a couple trains while I was here. The first train for me to show up this evening was a Norfolk Southern northbound mixed freight train going up the Sandusky District. One ES44AC was apparently all the power Norfolk Southern needed to get this mixed freight to its destination. After the northbound mixed freight train made his way through, it was revealed that a southbound train was also close by as well. The identity of this train would eventually be revealed to be another mixed freight train, this time heading southbound down the Sandusky District. 2 BNSF locomotives have found their way onto this mixed freight train, one trailing second, one as a mid-train DPU, which you'll see in a little bit. After those 2 Norfolk Southern trains passed the Model Railroad Club, I then went back inside to finish the operating session, and I didn't see any other trains for the rest of the night, which is where we now conclude yet another video. This month was able to provide a decent variety of trains, although the overwhelming majority was once again provided by Norfolk Southern. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out some other ones of mine. Leave a like or a comment down below to share your thoughts. Subscribe if you're new, and tap the notifications bell if you want to be notified when a new video gets posted here on the channel. Till next time, this is All Ohio Rail Fan, signing off.